Okay, so I got a video request today asking me to show how my RBI rack system is set up. RBI stands for Reptile Basics Incorporated. This is the 4-tub rack, as you can obviously see. It comes with it already assembled. It comes with the 4 tubs. The tubs look like this right here. There's no holes in the tubs when you purchase the thing. It's a nice flat. There's no grooves on the edges here. Nice flat bottom tubs. It's got the little feet right there. Again, everything is assembled with, you get these little pins that you can use to stop it from opening. That's how that works. Pins just come right up. And then on the inside, if you take a look in there close, it already comes with the heat tape. As you can see, the heat tape is built so that your tub won't rub across it. And then it's got these little protectors here, so it goes up one side, down along the bottom, and then down the other side.
It runs serpentine from each level.
So, when you come over here to the side, take Memphis out of here. There are spacers that you can use to put the probes in. But of course, with the heat tape being serpentine, this space is actually, you can't really use this space because this is in the way. So you just go down to the next one and it's open. But then the next one, of course, will be filled with the heat tape.
And the opposite side is the opposite.
The opposite side is exactly the opposite. This right here is my VE200 thermostat. This thermostat is what they call proportional. So what it does is it sends a steady amount of electricity to my heat tape so that it maintains the temperature of my heat tape to within 0.1 degree. So if I set this at 98 degrees, it will stay on through a steady flow of electricity so that my heat tape stays at 98 degrees. This over here is my Hydrofarm. That one is considered on-off. So whatever temperature I set the Hydrofarm at, it will do full power to my heat tape until it gets approximately 3 degrees higher than what I have the temperature set at, and then it turns the power off. So my heat tape basically turns completely off. Then when the probe temperature reaches 3 degrees below what I have this temperature set at, it will turn it back on to full power. So it's constantly clicking on and off and on and off. This one up here, proportional, does not do that. It keeps it on all the time, but it just maintains a certain level of electricity to keep that temperature like it is. So the way I have it set up is my VE200 is plugged into the wall. I'm sorry, no it's not. My VE200 probe is inside, go in here, is inside on the heat tape. I have the temperature set. It's the one on the right. And I have it taped to the back wall so that my second tub does not interfere with it at all. So the one on the right, and I have that temperature set for 98 degrees. Then I have the VE200 plugged into the Hydrofarm. The Hydrofarm is set at 104 degrees. So basically what happens is this one here, if it should happen to fail, If anything goes wrong with this, I mean, it is electronics. It has a circuit in it and everything. If this thing should fail, there will constantly be power going to this heat tape and nothing to monitor it, to fix it, to stop it from running too hot. And you'll burn up my snakes. I wouldn't want to burn up Memphis. So instead, what I did was I took the VE200 and it's plugged into the on-off. The on-off probe is also on the heat tape. You'll see it in there. It is the probe on the left. So if my VE200 short circuits or whatever, it stays in the on position, causing continuous power to go to the heat tape. But that's okay, because I have as a backup, if my heat tape gets above 104 degrees or gets to 107 degrees approximately, it will turn off the heat tape. And you got to understand that if I have this, I'll give an example. This thing's set at 98 degrees, my probe is reading 98 degrees. This one's reading my probe right now at 99.5. So there's going to be an obvious difference. They're two different products. This one obviously is a better one. Not that this one isn't any good. This one is just a better one for a rack system. Then I have obviously the Hydrofarm is plugged into the wall. So real quick, I have VE200. I have the probe going onto the heat tape. I have the VE200 power plugged into the on-off. I have the on-off probe plugged into the heat tape, or taped to the heat tape. The on-off plugged into the wall. So this will constantly stay on because it will have no reason to turn off unless this VE200 power fails and fails in the on position. Power continuously goes. This one will take over and turn my heat tape off. Okay, so I hope that explains how my rack is set up. And again, once you get the rack, you'll have to, make adjustments. I always suggest that if you're going to buy a new rack, that you set it up approximately a week prior to getting your ball pythons or whatever, or putting your ball pythons in it. That way you can make adjustments to it. What I did with this is I put holes in the back. I actually started with 4 holes. Put them up high in the back and put them down low in the front. That way there'll be like an air circulation kind of thing going. And then I left it sit for approximately 2 to 3 hours. I come back and check on it. If the humidity is still too high, I just add holes. I add, almost every time I'll add about 4 holes each time to get the thing right. And then I just do that until my humidity and everything is like I like it. I have this. Shows you temperature. This is the ambient temperature up top. Temperature of this probe I got going down the side. It goes right there, and then of course the humidity. And it works out really nice. I use paper as a substrate.
This probe is drilled so the wire goes outside, runs along, enters back in the hole at the back, and then is taped down.
And that tape, I know you shouldn't use tape on the inside of your snake's tub, but that is painter's tape. It's not sticky at all. So far I haven't had a problem. I know I'd really hate for tape to pull off any of my ball python scales, but luckily that painter's tape, I mean, it barely sticks to anything. So it's good to just for holding it in place. And I use a soldering iron to put the holes in, so I don't have to like take everything out and
this was like $5 at Walmart.
Take the snakes out.
Like $5 at Walmart.
And that's pretty much it. I love the rack system. The rack system is actually built also course, it's got these little pins. There's these little holes. You can see the little hole right there, and there's one on each side. And it comes with these pins, so if I want to buy another rack system like it, I can actually stack it on top. So I hope that explains how the rack system is set up. Please, if you have any other questions, feel free to ask in the comment section, and I'll get to your questions as soon as I can. My tube Cody up on top, he's in deep shed. Hopefully he'll shed tomorrow morning, and then my normal female on the bottom there, she's deep in shed too, so I got two in shed mode.
So they can't come out to play.
They can't come out to play. See if you can see her. She rarely uses her hide. Oh, she's using her hide right now.
Usually she likes to lay behind it in that void in the back.
But what I do is, to get the humidity up in here, don't open that, I just take this wash rag, I get it wet with warm water, and I wring it out till it's not dripping anymore, and I set it on top of here. And I mean, you can see my humidity's at like 76%. It usually gets up to 8. I just got home from work, so I'll do it again. It gets up to about 80%. Here's the man. A little pinstripe.
Don't move him too fast.
Trying to get his head to come towards you. He's a very stubborn dude.
He's very active. He likes to dump his water bowl upside down and move his furniture. He rearranges the entire cage every night. He's the funniest one we have.
He's hungry though. Tomorrow's feeding day. You don't like that light being in his face. He's got a nice little belly on him. Yeah, you don't like to sit still. He's cool. Okay, feel free to comment. Thanks.